Well, greetings once again, my friends. I hope you're having a great day, and I'd like to welcome you to another video, my fellow modelers and my fellow shipbuilding modelers. This is going to be a video that's going to show something of a little tool that we're going to need. The way my building skills for these wooden models, obviously by looking at this one. This was the Halco, and as you can clearly see, I'm very new to this, and I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm still kind of feeling my way along. Now, when it came to doing this model, I had absolutely zero experience coming into the model shipbuilding world. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to practice on something that was relatively inexpensive, because I actually got the Oakley Flying Dutchman. And that thing was expensive, and I want to be able to make a respectable model. And it was expensive, and I didn't want to ruin it. So this one was my absolute first model that we did. And when it came to building this model, I didn't need as much as the tools, because it was pretty straightforward. And when it comes to planking the ship, planking the bottom, I didn't really have to do anything custom to the wood. Well, again, trying to hone my skills, we're doing another build. I'm doing the HMS Victory. So what we're up to now is I'm actually starting to put the sides on the ship. And eventually we're going to plank, because there's still a couple more sections where the openings for the cannon are going to be. But as you can see, when she comes around to the front, you can see how there's a really dramatic curve that we're going to have to do to get it to fit. And if you try to bend the little strips, the planks, you're going to break them. They do have little tools where you actually crimp them, and it'll bend that way, but it's destructive to the wood, so I didn't want to go that route. But what I want to show you guys today is a little tool that's going to help curving the planks. And I figured I would do it just to show you guys that may be new to this and are learning like I am. So why don't we take a look? I got it off Amazon, and it was $39. And this is actually going to help us curve the plank. Again, you can see the curvature on the other ship. On the Halco, it's more straight, but this one is really curved. So let's take a look, and I'll show you guys the wood bending iron that I got. Okay, so I got it off Amazon, like I had said, and it comes in a package. Well, it came in an envelope, but this is wrapped in plastic. So let's go ahead. We're going to open it up, and we're going to learn about the iron. What I'm going to do is I'll take the contents out, and then we'll go through everything together. And the one that I had gotten is the electric plank bender. This is MS7205. Electric plank bender for model Shipways. All right. So we got the instructions. And let's see, what is this part? So the first thing we're going to see, the instructions, or part of them, fast heating element. The instructions: we plug it into a 120 volt outlet, place on a wire stand, which is included, allow to warm to normal operating temperature, hold the tip of the soldering iron to the wire to be soldered, allow the wire to heat to a degree warm enough to melt solder, touch the solder wire and see, this might be for something different. As you can see, they might have put the wrong thing in. Otherwise, it could be something they just put in for everything. But this is the soldering iron, or the the wood burning tool, but that's not what we have right here. I'm going to put this aside and let's see if it's relevant later. So the instructions, we got the electric plank bender, MS7205, and this is from model Shipways. So this is more the instruction sheet for the gun. So we've got the electric plank bender, the instructions. Your new electric plank bender makes it easy to bend individual planking strips to fit the hull curvature of your ship model. You must thoroughly soak the planks in water before you can bend them. Using the heated head of the plank bender, press the plank into one of the curved portions of the wooden form. Slide the head back and forth until the plank dries and retains the shape of the form. You might want to practice on some scrap wood to determine how much heat to apply to the plank, as too much heat can scorch the wood once it has dried. Please remember that the tip gets extremely hot and can cause serious burns. This tool is not recommended for children. You can see the assembly. Glue the 3 wooden forms together to make a single thickness. Use the supplied rod through the holes for alignment. Includes a metal stand to rest the warm iron. See hundreds of other fine modeling tools on our website, Modelexpo-online.com. And I actually very fond of Modelexpo-online. I've gotten several things from there. Matter of fact, that's where I got my, actually no, I got the Oakery direct from the Oakery website. But this is a really awesome site. I'll put the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. So those are really the instructions. So it's pretty straightforward. So let's put this over here for now. We're going to take a look at everything. First thing I notice is the metal pin, and I'm wondering if this is what's going to go through the holes. Or actually, you know what this is? All right, I get it now. We'd be able to remove this piece and put this on, and we can use this also as a soldering iron, and that's where these instructions come into play. But we're not going to use this as a soldering iron because I've got one. We're going to use this for the planks. So we put that aside for now. Let's see, we have, this looks like the stand that we're going to rest it on. And I'm thinking that this is going to pop up and we'll just rest it. So let's put that aside for a minute. And the pieces that they were talking about, we're going to glue these together. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to make a form for us. Now there are some really talented people out there where they might not even need this. They can just eyeball it and run the iron over it. But I'm not at that point. I'm really, really new to this. So the first thing we'll do is we'll glue this together. So we'll put that aside. You can see we have the little piece that's going to go in and make sure everything lines up. And then we have the unit itself. You can see it's got the adjustable screws where the top will come off and we can replace it with the solder iron. And this is UL tested 110 to 120 volts or 60 hertz. Do not immerse in water. And this is part E214195. And you can see we've got the plug. So actually, before I plug it in, let's get everything ready. So with this, it's sheet metal, but you can see where you push it open, you kind of lift it up and you bend it out like this. It has like a Y shape. And this is going to allow us to rest the iron on, because this is going to get hot and we don't want to touch it or get burned by it. So that's all set. So that was pretty quick. So when it comes to this section, we're going to use, I like using the Modelexpo, the Maxi Cure. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue, we're going to put them together. And what this is going to do is this is actually going to go through and we're going to be able to line everything up. So we got 3 of the holes So what I want to do is I'm going to cut this into 3 sections. So you figure this is about half, and that'll be about 1/3. So let's trim these. And we're going to put this on and make sure it's straight. And we're going to put some glue on here again. Again, we don't need a ton of it. And we need to make sure it's straight. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to drive in the little pieces just to line everything up. When this is dry, we're going to cut off the ends and then I'll sand it down. But the whole purpose of this is going to help us form the shapes and the outline of the wood. So what I've been doing is when I made the Halco ship, the first model I ever made, I had a couple of extra pieces. So we've got a plank, and what I want to do is I want to show you how to set this up, and I want to show you guys how to use it real quick. Just to, you know, you're kind of like learning like I am as we go along. And what I'm going to do is we're going to get it ready, we're going to plug it in. So I'm going to put it around here, and just like that. And it's going to start to get hot immediately because there's no on and off switch. These things take off and shoot. Yeah. And just like that, we're ready to bend our planks. All right. So when it comes to the iron, it just says allow it to get hot. It doesn't really say how long. But we're going to go ahead, and I've been soaking one of the planks. So what I want to do is, let's just say we want to get it to conform to this. And again, this is spare pieces that I don't need, so if I mess up, it won't be that bad. But when we put the wood on, maybe it needs to get hotter, but let's see. So what you do is when you put the plank down, you run the iron along it. See how it's starting to form? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of roll back and forth. See, and as it dries, we can put a little bit more moisture on it, and we'll run over it some more. You can hear it sizzle a little bit. See, we don't want to get it to the point where we're going to scorch the wood. That's not what we're looking to do. And to give you guys a little more of an idea of what we're doing, let me show you guys. Let me bring back the ship. So when it comes to the ship that we're doing, right now we're doing the HMS Victory. And you can see a perfect example of how we're going to have to curve it in. So we're going to try to put a little bit more of a curvature into it. So let's take a look now. So when it comes to the curvature of the ship, this is going to go underneath. And see, it looks like we have a little ways to go to make it where it's curved and get it where the camera angle is going to be. So we need it to go, and I guess, you know, technically that could be good, but we want to do just a slight more curvature. So I'm going to put a little bit of the fluid in, well, into the water. And again, we're going to use the and keep in mind, I'm learning on this, so I'm learning on the fly as we go along, and I know there are many people out there that are very experienced and just totally blow away my modeling skills, but I'm learning. That's why I figured if you're learning as well, you might want to check out this tool, as I'm new to it. See how the curvature is starting to go? So now we put it up against the bottom plank. It's going to be like that. And see how that's going to fit now? Because then we would glue it into place. And forgive the camera angle, but just like that. So that's the curvature and how to do it really quickly. We're going to take another piece. So again, we're going to take a piece and we're going to dip it in the water. And again, it doesn't seem to be getting really hot. Maybe it's designed for that. But when it's finished, you can see it's going to hold the piece in that shape. And again, what you want to do is, if there's any moisture left, you just want to evaporate it. That's going to make a nice bend, especially when we go around the hull. This is a better angle. So when it comes around like this, and again, this isn't a piece for that, but you can see how we're going to be able to glue it into position. So again, I'm new to this. I have no clue what I'm doing, which is pretty obviously shows in the models, but this is something that they don't show in the instructions. I had no idea that we had to do this, because look, if you try to bend it, it will bend, but eventually, see how it breaks? So it's important to get it to bend into the form of the hull. All right, so this has been soaking a little while. So what I want to do is I want to do a more dramatic bend to show you guys. So we'll start out, actually we'll start out by doing it more gradual so we don't risk breaking the wood. And again, you can hear the little bit of sizzling. And again, it probably has to be soaked for longer than what I'm doing, but I just want to demonstrate to you guys. And I love that smell, like the not the burning smell, but the hot wood smell. So we're gonna put it in the water, and we're gonna do a more dramatic bend. So let's put it in just like that. See how that's starting to look? Let's see if we can do a little bit more rounder. There. It kind of looks like a candy cane. So if you want to get it really curved, so this thing really helps a lot, because what this does is it holds the shape. And you're not limited to these shapes. You can bring it down at the end, and you can gradually put the curves in, and you can gradually work your way up to this strong curve right here. There's even a flat section where if you need to flatten, let's say you need to straighten it out a little bit. So let's say we have this and we made a mistake and we want it to be straight. So what we'll do is we'll put this back on here like this, and we'll straighten it out. So we'll put it on the surface like this, and we're going to run the iron back and forth. A little bit more moisture. See how we're able to straighten it out? So my friends, I wanted to show you guys the electric plank bender. This is, again, from Model Shipways, and this is how to bend the planks. Again, they have different tools out there and people that are much more skilled at this than I am, but I just wanted to share this with you because I'm still learning, and if you're learning as well and you didn't know about this, then I hope this satisfied your curiosity. Again, we're going to be using this because we're going to be doing the planking for the HMS Victory. So my friends, I hope this video was helpful and entertaining. And until my next video, thank you so much for watching. And I'll talk to you guys soon.